You know, if you write a great screenplay or stage play, it still comes down to how the actors perform it. You know, how they move through the choreography of the drama, if you like. So models are really telling stories inside shapes is actually what they are.
Yeah.
And the choreography is the storyline.
How do you define context? How do you define it?
Well, context, so if there's kind of 4 levels of thinking.
Okay.
Context is the overarching framework of why. Why does this matter? Concept is what is it? And then content is how do we do it?
Okay.
There's a 4th level of thought, which is critical that a lot of people don't think about, and that is contrast.
Okay.
It's equally important to understand what it's not. Or what are we not going to do?
Right.
And that releases pressure a lot of times. In the patient's view, they're coming to the dentist with a bad toothache. Their context is pain. That's why they're there. And I need you to make the pain go away. Well, we could do a temporary, you know, you've a filling's fallen out and we need to do a temporary filling. You can come back and we do the proper filling. They'll probably get the temporary filling and not come back because the context now has been served, it's gone away.
Got it.
The dentist is selling a concept of a temporary filling, then we need to get you back in and put a crown on that thing, right? Which is going to cost more. A lot of people will just go with the temporary filling and hope that lasts because the context of pain has gone away. But the dentist has 3 contexts. So there are 3 primary types of value, contextual value. We fix, we prevent, or we improve. If you think about what you do, everything almost fits into those 3 things. So the dentist fixes pain, prevents unhealthy teeth, and improves cosmetic dentistry or appearance. So a patient comes in and says, I've got a bad toothache, can you fix it? Dentist says, of course I can. I do 3 things. I fix pain. I've got a professional responsibility to make sure your teeth are healthy. And, you know, a lot of people have a secret wish about an appearance, something about their teeth they'd like to improve in terms of the appearance, but let's not worry about that today. Contrast. You take that sale off, now pressure's released. Now they're thinking, oh, you're not going to try and sell me everything, right? But here's the deal. You're here in pain because you've gone down on the red line and you're in crisis with your teeth. You know, you drifted downwards on this red line because you just ignored some signs you probably had. We need to get you back onto the green line with really healthy teeth. I've got a professional responsibility for that. So I'm going to fix that. I'm going to fix that bit of pain today, but I need to fix it permanently, get you on the green line, lock you in for 6 monthly appointments and have you, you know, come and visit me every 6 months. I've got a professional responsibility to keep you on that healthy green line, right? I'm a green line dentist. The dentist now has just shifted all the context. The patient knows the green line going up, the red line going down are truth. It's incontestable truth. So, you know, we're going to jump you. I've got to jump you to the green line today. I can't just fix this tooth but leave you on the red line. I've got to jump you to the green line. So we're going to put a temporary filling in. We need to come back and put a crown on to get you onto the green line and then get you into 6 monthly appointments. 6 months time, the reminder goes out, patient rings up and says, I've got to cancel that appointment. The receptionist just says, cancelling is not a green line decision. Rescheduling is.
It triggers that thing.
Yeah, context is back again. I'm here for health, right? And at
right.
some point in the future, we're going to sell cosmetic dentistry, but not right now. So, you know, most people with a complex product are selling at a context that is higher than the buyer is at. The buyer's got an immediacy context. The seller's got a quality context, and you've got to bridge the contextual gap. And what most people are doing is hoping their concept is going to bridge the contextual gap, but it actually doesn't.
And the concept in this case was?
Well, the concept is 3 things. Let's fix your tooth properly, put a crown on it, get you into a pattern with us. And the other concept that's sitting there, which you know about now, but we don't have to talk about right now, is there might be something about your teeth you'd like to change in terms of the appearance. So we're going to do some cosmetic dentistry at some point. So, you know, the dentist has got this professional dental responsibility. The patient just wants their tooth fixed. That's the contextual difference. So every model carries context and concept in it, so that, because it's usually the contextual picture that is that, you know, incontestable truth for the buyer. If they think they're buying we're creating these blueprints for the brain so they can see this incontestable truth. In your car maintenance, if you don't maintain your car, you're on a red line heading downwards to breakdown. If you maintain your car, you're on a green line heading up to reliability.
And the farther the lines diverge, the greater the cost.
Well, they accelerate away over time from each other. They accelerate, and we use really specific choreography. So, example of choreography is, people end up with a broken down car because they've just drifted on the red line. They haven't maintained the car. People that have really reliable cars that never break down make decisions on the green line. They get them maintained regularly. Those two lines accelerate away from each other over time, and the cost to repair it, if you end up down here in the red, is going to be way higher than if you just stayed on the green line. So why don't we fix the car today, jump it to the green line, and keep you there? Here's the question. How long do you want to wait before you get on the green line?
Right.
Like there's lots of choreography going on in this, lots and lots and lots.
Now, have you, obviously this stuff works and it's very persuasive. Have you had a chance to track like the difference in conversion rates on things that you've done? Like the dentist comes to you and says, right now we have this challenge. We're doing temporary fillings. 73% of people don't come back. And then you give them the red line, green line. They're like, everybody comes back. Have there been any kind of studies like that?
Lots and lots of anecdotal examples. We've got our own specific tracking rates and things. One of the challenges that we have, working in the conversion rate field, and I suspect you're going to identify very closely with what I'm about to say, is that it staggers me how many businesses are not tracking their conversion rate.
Right. So you don't have a baseline to start with.
So what's their baseline?
Right.
And I suspect you come across that as well when you meet, or just track your conversion rate. Your sales will go up.
Yeah.
So
your
you say
conversion rate, your cost of customer acquisition, your lifetime value,
all
those
key
KPIs,
numbers, right?
Yeah.
But what's your conversion rate? Oh, it's about 40%. Well, that word about has told me a bunch of stuff, right? So one of the problems is, what's the baseline? But we know that conversion rate, it depends on the industry, the complexity of the product and that sort of thing. But it is not unusual for people to double their conversion rate from what they think it is.
Right. Which is important from what they think it is, because usually they think it's higher than it actually is.
For those that track conversion rate, it's really not unusual to see a 20, 30, 40% improvement. But the better people get it, it's like riding a bike.
Yeah.
You've got to learn to use the machine.
Yeah.
And then it becomes kind of natural and you just get into your groove.
I would say also, my wife and I talk about this, is like that studies of that people who read parenting books are better parents are skewed by the fact that people who read parenting books are going to be better parents because they're reading books about being better parents. They care, right?
Yeah.
And the same thing's probably true in the conversion rate thing, that the people who know their conversion rates, they're having 20, 30% improvements because they've already focused on this. They know their numbers and they've done everything they know how to do. And even then you're able to push them farther with these visual models.
They're already at a higher level than most of their market, right? But what happens all the time is when we start, particularly when we do the bespoke one-to-one solution with people. One of our clients, a guy named Ari Meisel.
Ari's speaking at our war room in November. Super smart guy.
We did Ari's one-to-one.
Oh, okay.
And it's a series of video conference meetings, and we built a series of models. We built his first model and he went out and made $100,000 sale on that one model. Todd drew the futures model for the first time live in front of a room. That was his first use of it. And did $480,000, I think, from stage. And, we have people all the time. So it's not just the conversion rate, it's the speed. So for me, conversion is three things. What's the rate of conversion? What's the speed of conversion? And what is the quality of conversion? We're applying the models to not-for-profits and things like that are trying to raise funds and stuff. The engagement rate for sponsors and things is just huge, because I do a lot of work with Virgin Unite and some of their not-for-profits in South Africa particularly. And, their ability to express what they do usually is very poor because they're purpose-driven. Yeah. They're not sales-driven.
Right.
But you've got to make a sale, right? So when we can contain the magic in a model, then they can actually go out and talk to people. So the real power of the model is the speed of conversion. They convert really, really fast. So when we're doing the bespoke work with clients, what we're really pulling out of them is their content into the models. And the content of the model is context and concept. And then the choreography, delivering the model. So, if you write a great screenplay or stage play, it still comes down to how the actors perform it. How they move through the choreography of the drama, if you like. So models are really telling stories inside shapes is actually what they are. Yeah. And the choreography is the storyline. And so the choreography has become much more important. And in fact, now it's possibly the most important thing. Everyone can draw circles, squares, triangles, and lines, which is all you need to know how to draw. But it's then how you actually unpack that in front of the client and involve them in the story. If you involve them in the story through the choreography, they fall into the model. And once they're inside the model, it's them.